Oh, hey! How's it going? Did you guys have a good day? I've had a pretty good day so far. It's my day off and it's really exciting. I went to the markets! So the area I live in, there's a place pretty close by where there's a market. It's called the Fitzroy Garden, I believe is where it's located at. There's a really pretty fountain around there, which is kind of a highlight in this area. I'm not sure what it was designed for, but it's kind of an iconic location, and it's really, really pretty. And when you walk around in a certain angle in a nice sort of sunny day like this today, you get to see the rainbow. I guess a little bit about markets. Like, I've never really been to any, I know, like, it's a bit hard to believe, but I've never really been to any markets. And it kind of reminds me of going to night markets back in Asia, where I used to go back to for holidays a lot. And it's the kind of things that get me really excited. I'm just like really giddy and excited about this kind of stuff. It's so much food, so much cake and baked goods, coffee. They had so much stuff everywhere, and I really wanted to show you guys and share with you whilst it's like fresh in my memory. I just got home from the markets and I bought a few things there, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. But yeah, they had so many different things there. It's not the biggest market, of course, but it's a pretty good medium-sized one. It takes about 20 minutes to maybe 30 minutes, depending on how long you like to stroll. There were a lot of like good food, a variety of, there was, I think, what was it, paella, there was some street burgers, some well-known patisseries, very good. There was one that really stood out was Irish soda bread stand, which was all Irish soda breads, and I've never ever had one apart from ones that I've tried making, and I really wanted to know what it's like traditionally and how different it is from what I've made. But enough of that, and let's just jump right into it, eh? Because that's probably what you're here for. So I'm not going to be tasting everything because I've had a lot of samples. The people that were really nice wanted to give me samples of what I was going to buy or what I was interested in, even though I was already literally about to buy the product and have my mind set on it. So it was really super nice. I will probably put the names down below or link them in the description box, just because I can't remember off the top of my head. So I took some photos of the stands just to help me remember. So one of my favorite things about this that I love so much is just the way things are packaged in these situations. Just like everything's just in a nice paper bag, pastry bag. It's so rustic, it's so simple, nothing's like overly done, and you just grab it, give them cash, and you just pop it in your bag, keep strolling. Again, it's very reminiscent of the feeling you get of shopping or having a late night stroll at night markets in Asian countries. If you've never had that experience before, it's basically lots of food stalls or shopping stalls all across the middle and the sides of a street. And those certain streets, usually you just go in with your friends late at night because they're open very late. You just grab food, and it's usually food on the go, on sticks or drinks, and you just eat, have a chat with a friend as you go through the crowds and look at things and see if there's anything you want to buy. And it's just a nice way to catch up and spend time with your friends. And it is a bit of a shame that Sydney doesn't really have that culture, but you know, different places just have different cultures, and it's just one of the special things there, and Sydney has many other great things. So this is what it looks like. I'll give you a close-up as well. But this is essentially, I'm trying to remember the names of the breads. The bread names that they gave were actually really funny. I was very tempted to go with the other one, but the flavor wasn't as, well, I was tossing up between the two, and one of the ones that I really wanted was mostly based on just because I thought the name was absolutely hilarious. It was called the, what's it called? It was called the super seedy bread, super seedy soda bread or something. Yeah. I'm real mature, so that one caught my attention. I kind of wanted that, but I'm not actually that crazy about seeds in my bread usually anyway. I go for it only because I think it might be healthier for me sometimes. The other one was a spelt traditional soda bread. I think I got that name right. I probably should have taken pictures or written down the name of them. But this one's made with spelt flour. So if you don't know much about Irish soda bread is traditionally, it's not made with like drinking soda, if that's what you think, because that's the first thing I thought of when I saw a recipe of that many years ago. And I thought it was very interesting because of that. But it is still very interesting, but it's not actually drinking soda. What the soda is baking soda. So it's a kind of bread where there is no yeast-based raising agent, so it doesn't use yeast to have the raising improving. It's basically a kind of bread where you mix together with baking soda being your raising agent, and the bread just goes right into the oven and gets baked. When I made it, I found that they tend to be a little bit harder or drier side. So I guess if that's the kind of bread you're into, then it would be ideal for you. I asked a lady who was really, really amazing and really nice there what the difference between the two was, and she actually offered me a sample of the seedy one, which I thought was nice, but it wasn't anything too interesting for me, and I didn't think I would want to get through a whole bread loaf of that. Luckily she was kind enough to also cut up a little bit of the spelt flour one for me, which is the one that I ended up buying because it was really, really good. She lathered a little bit of butter and just freshly sliced, not even toasted or anything, and I just had it on the spot, and just the tiniest piece was so nice. It has a very, very nice fragrance. Actually, surprisingly, strangely enough, it reminds me a lot of almost like Asian bun, kind of like steamed bun kind of flavor. Just a little bit of that smell to it. I'm not too sure why. But it's just that fresh smell of almost like when it comes out from the steamer of the steaming baskets, the bamboo baskets, and just that amazing smell. It's amazing. I love it. So I also looked up a little bit about spelt flour. I asked her what was the main difference because I heard a lot about spelt, and I know we talked about it a little bit when I was studying pastry school, but I honestly can't remember much about it, and I've never used it. I generally don't go for using anything that I can't access or have to buy over the internet, just because it's gonna be something other people probably won't really be interested in doing or have to go into a lot of effort to make the recipe. And you know, sometimes when I look at recipes I like and I can't make them because the products are just not readily available at any sort of markets or groceries nearby, then it kind of sucks because you like looked around and finally found something you were really interested in, but you know, that's kind of a setback. Anyway, just a quick little bit, I looked up a little bit about spelt flour, and spelt is basically, it's an alternative to wheat flour, so it is, I guess, non-gluten in a way. Is it? Actually, don't take my word on that, I didn't really look at that part up, but I think it is meant to be a wheat alternative for sure. It's beneficial to health because it is a little bit less calories than wheat. It's grain-based rather than wheat-based. Basically like same genus but like different, same species but like different genus, or something like that. Often used in like a variety of products like pasta as well, and obviously bread. And it's high in protein. I'm just going off by stuff I literally just read just before the video started on my phone. But the thing that she told me about that basically sold it for me was that she said it basically makes the bread a lot cakier, and I really like that kind of texture. And it is very spongy for a bread, especially one that's you know, usually a bit more crusty on the outside. And made with just the raising agent of soda. So I don't know what else is in this bread, but it's just amazing and I can't wait to taste it. for the rest of the week. I probably won't be tasting it, as I said, because I've already had a piece and I'm not really hungry for bread right now. But you can see the texture when I show you, and it's really nice. Yeah. Oh, okay, so it's not too hard to remember, at least the place's name. So there's the paper, it says Paddy the Baker, Traditional Irish Breads. It's really cute, and I love, there is just something so attractive, I guess, to the general people and everyone when you go to shops like bakeries or markets, just the way things sit in the stands, the way there's like just a glass stand or just like a little wood stands, and there's just like all these breads, all this variety of sizes and looks and flavors just mounted on each other. It's this kind of stuff I really, really like, and yeah, I think there's just really honestly no better way to spend a day off. Okay, the other thing I do probably want to try on camera is this one. So it is a little hefty in size. I love that there was so many baked goods stuff there, because that's the kind of stuff I usually will end up buying like when I go to these kind of places. I don't usually go for the like food stuff like burgers and all that kind of stuff unless I'm with someone and we're kind of sticking around for a while to sit and chat. And because there's usually too much people around, and they did have a lot of queue, so the food there was really good, and it was right next to a park. It was a little bit windy today, so I didn't really want to stick around for too long and sit down and eat, although it was very sunny. Because Sydney weather's like that, in almost August, and we're having 2 days of extreme coldness, like freezing cold, like stepping into the freezer kind of cold. And the next morning you wake up, you go out expecting it to be sunshine but cold and windy, but instead it's actually really, really hot. It's like, soaking in a cup of coffee. That kind of hot. Anyway, back to the thing. So the other place right next to, the other stand right next to the Irish soda, the Irish bread place was, I don't remember the name again, but again, I'll post photos probably. Actually, I didn't take a photo of this place because, which was a shame because they had a really nice layout too. I don't think they had their name up really obvious, so I couldn't really see it, and I didn't really want to be that person taking the photo really obviously next to a place, and people are walking around, so it kind of makes it a little bit of a hassle and inconvenient. The product's more important anyway, but yeah, they had a lot of really neatly arranged slices or cakes, cake stands with lots of cakes on the side, so it was really hard because I didn't really want to buy too much because they were all about $5 to $9 kind of priced slices and products, and I didn't want to spend all that much in one day, and I know that I won't be eating all that anyway, although actually I probably will, but anyway, so I was tossing up between probably 2 or 3 slices mainly. It's always a bit of a choice thing, it's pretty hard. The one I ended up going with was the Dolce de Leche, and please don't judge me if I can't pronounce it properly. I really, really don't remember how to say it. Dolce de Leche. This just gets worse. Dolce de Leche with walnut slice. So it's like caramelly kind of brownie with walnuts inside. And I'm actually not crazy about having lots of nuts in my brownie usually, but I think caramel and nuts usually pair really well, and having a bit of that texture, especially in something this big, is usually a really good thing. The other one was a slice exactly the same, like a triangle shape, but it was kind of like a crumble top with rhubarb and apple in the middle, which really caught my attention. I thought it was really pretty and it looked really nice in the video, but I wasn't feeling something too fruity today, so I thought, I'll just go with what I actually want to eat. Because that's what's exciting. You guys, if you guys want to watch me eat, you guys will probably want to see me eating something I really, really enjoy. And, you can't fake food reactions, it's just not right. And the other thing that I thought was very interesting, which I didn't buy was an Anzac, I think it was a caramel Anzac slice, which was very interesting because I couldn't really exactly tell what it was just from looking at it. It looked like there was almost like nutty kind of caramel tops, almost like the kind of look to a Florentine without the chocolate part. And it was probably, so I'm guessing, to me, it's probably a blend between a thick Anzac cookie with caramel or something like that. If you haven't had Anzac cookie, it is a traditional Australian biscuit, I guess, which is kind of usually a little bit chewy and quite buttery and quite simple, with a little bit of history behind it. But I won't go into that because, you know, it's a little bit sidetracking. But yeah, let's give it a go. The people were all super nice at the markets. They were just in the best positive spirits, the nicest people. They're so talkative, so easy to chat to. You go up to them, before you even say hi, they greet you straight away with so much energy. They're just like, hello, how are you? Hey, how's your day going? And because I work in this area and I'm so used to being the one asking, I almost sometimes forget to respond to that. So I always had to pause and be like, oh yeah, great, yeah, how are you? Before I wanted to order anything. And also because I'm super awkward, I don't know why, whenever I order stuff, I'm always kind of like, I want, how are you? Oh, that's great. Now, how do I segue into the ordering? Yeah, so, yeah, sometimes it's just a little bit strange. I don't really know how normal people do it, but I guess I'm not normal. Anyway, let's give this a go. I'm so excited for this. It's like the big chunks of caramel. I think I haven't had anything today yet, and this is like literally the first thing I'm eating. Mmm. 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 Cake. Speaking of which, I worked last night, and this was pretty much the whole reaction I had towards the end of the night. If you've seen my lemon curd brioche video, I made that before work, and then I took it to work to share with everyone. And one of the girls came back from Indo on a short holiday, and she bought some cake, and she was like, so she came in, she was like, oh, I bought some cake for you guys. I was like, how was your time? And she was like, I bought some cake. I was just like, oh, cake. Yeah, that's, I don't know, because like, you know, if you make stuff very often and you're not usually the one that eats other people's stuff, for me, anything that someone else makes just makes me like overwhelmingly excited. Like, it's an amazeballs moment. And yeah, so for a few hours I was basically in the whole situation of forgetting that there was cake, and then remembering there was cake, and then getting extremely excited, and then forgetting there was cake. And then towards the end of the night, it pretty much occurred again when we were about to leave, and I was just like, yeah, we're done, let's go. Cake. And I had it. It was great. Oh yeah, back to this. So, sidetracking so much, but this is me. This is so good. It's the brownie is just, I thought something like this big. Sometimes bakeries that do something this big, they're not generally as good. But I guess this is from the market after all. It's just so fudgy, so soft. The texture is just the perfect brownie. It's just not too crispy on the top, but there's just a little bit of a layering texture, and then the middle is just completely fudgy, almost like a thicker ganache, a truffle-like texture. And then you get this smooth, silky, but really caramelly, like almost like a soft caramel candy, but much softer, and melts in your mouth, kind of silky smooth caramel. And it's just so tasty. And then you have the little bit of nuts coming through every once in a while. Just everything goes into the mouth in a perfect sort of ratio and balance. It's so good. I'm so happy that I chose this one. I feel like rhubarb and apple would have been really tasty too, but considering the standard of this stuff. But it's just, I think that looked a little bit more like something I've seen before, whereas this is just, well, there are probably things like caramel and chocolate quite often too in brownies, but it's just, this one's just, it's good. It's so good. Cake. I'm gonna take another bite before we move on. That's a hefty mouthful though. Carriages fillet. Oh, that's so good. I get some water from my Foxy cup. I'm gonna go back there and definitely try the other stuff, and I wonder if they'll change up the stuff like week to week, because I'm not always off on the Saturday, but a lot of times I do work nights, so mornings would be perfectly fine for me to visit. Oh, that's so nice. Now the other place this was just when I was thinking about leaving the markets, and I've already looped around almost twice. And just checking everything out and being really amused and amazed by the place, having the feels. And just as I was leaving, I saw one more shop by the corner and caught my eye because there was a lot of color in there. There was the cutest shop, again the name you can see in the photo that I posted, I took just before I left. The lady was the most sweetest person ever, so sweet and so nice, just like the other lady I spoke to in the Irish bread stand. So nice. So she was talking to another lady while I was looking at the products, and one of them caught my eye, and I bought one for my friend as well because she always buys some nice stuff, like random little food stuff when she goes on trips, and when there's like not even that much occasion. So they have the name on it as well. I guess it's cacaoette. You get the point. Anyway, so this one, I was looking at the flavors, and I'm not crazy about like spending a lot of money buying like tempered chocolate that are just the the usual flavors like hazelnut or like ginger. It's like stuff that you can find. Obviously, there will be really good quality if you go to the right place and it tastes really amazing. But I wanted to try unusual stuff, and this is what this channel is kind of about sometimes as well, because you guys will probably be more interested if you haven't tried something like that, and that's what interests me. This was organic white chocolate with matcha and also black sesame. And I was having my mind set on that, and originally just before I saw this one, I was thinking about getting a raspberry sprinkled dark chocolate bark, but that wasn't exactly like the most super unusual thing. It just looked really pretty and I really want to show you guys, but when I saw this I decided that if I was going to buy one only, I would definitely go for this. And she was so nice. She offered me if I would like to sample one just before I buy it anyway, probably because she just wanted to make sure I was really happy with it. And I never say no to candies from strangers. Well, not necessarily strangers, I just don't say no to sweets from anyone when they offer it. Like anywhere or in any situation, that's the spirit. I will make a great parent one day. But yeah, so if you don't know much about white chocolate isn't exactly real chocolate because it doesn't have the real cacao contents in it. It does have a lot of cacao butter from the beans, which is what makes it so smooth and silky and buttery in flavor. But some cheaper ones will opt out and use vegetable oil instead, so the flavor won't be as nice. It'll be a little bit more compromised and definitely not as silky smooth. And yeah, the flavor is just not going to be as tasty either. But she used a pretty good quality one, I can tell, because I had the smallest bite and straight away the nuttiness of the sesame comes through, and then you get this really, really subtle tone, but nice and sweet, but not overwhelmingly sugary kind of level of white chocolate. And just you really get to savor the nice flavors of white chocolate without getting overwhelmed by that sugariness. And then slowly the matcha kind of creeps up on you and slowly just kind of disperses into your palate and becomes really, really, really obvious. And then it just kind of lingers there for the last bit, so you can just really enjoy that kind of herbal, green tea, earthy kind of flavor. and it's just strong enough so that you know it's definitely there, and it's a really strong component of the chocolate, but it's not like hits you in the face and think like, oh, this person was definitely overdoing the matcha. And the lady was telling me that she experimented a few times whilst making this, and she was trying to get the right ratio, and a lot of Japanese friends of hers were saying that no, you need more. And so I told her that I thought it was just amazing, it was perfect, and I wanted 2 instead of 1 because I thought my friend would really enjoy this. And again, because I've tasted this, so I'll just show you guys what it looks like, but I won't really be tasting it. But she was really great, and she even like went through all the packets just trying to figure out which ones look better for me, even though I really don't mind because these will be going in me within like a day or 2. Sounds weird. So that's it. That's what I had for today's experience. What's in stock for today? Oh, actually, there's one more thing I could show you. So this was something I had to look up and really find, and I wasn't sure where I could get them. Luckily, Harris Farms, a place kind of like Whole Foods, which I talked about in the other candy tasting video or other videos I often mention. It's kind of like Whole Foods or like an organic supermarket. I've got the bag from them here. So it does tend to stock a lot more of like organic nuts and chocolate, that kind of stuff that generally the regular grocery store probably wouldn't go as far to stocking because the people might not be needing it there. I'm not even saying, but for the recipe I found a particular type of recipe that I want to use for the Jacksepticeye project I'm working on, and I'm still writing up all the details, but I needed white broad kidney beans, which were also known as lima beans, and initially I thought they didn't sell them, and finally looked it up and knew that there were 2 different names, because when a name was that long, generally it probably implies that there's another kind of name for it, and it was called lima beans, and I'm so glad I found it. So I bought 2 packets of these, so about 1 kilo worth, so that I can really cook this into a paste in anticipation for making my next project. It's going to be really fun. I really hope it turns out right. It's one of just a really fun idea, and yeah, you can tell I'm kind of a little bit still both relaxed and a little bit tired. I guess it's a combination of both. So I'm gonna head off and I'm gonna leave you guys there, and as always, if you enjoyed that video, then please high five the like button and remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye 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 bye. Hey.